seems equal has its limitations these days. The Israeli lobby announces its disassociation from Floridian congressman and Zionist warlord cheerleader Randy Fine from receiving any donations in the near future. There's an article by the New Republic, as you can see here. I'll make myself shorter a little bit. Not even AIPAC wants to be associated with this GOP rep anymore. I mean, if you haven't been to his Twitter feed, make yourself and become repulsed by the daily postings of this very obese monstrosity. And his physical nature is grotesque, but that's a representative of his mindset, his spirit, right? He is insatiable when it comes to violence. So he's insatiable when it comes to that of worldly things, especially eating and drinking, because he has no limits. And you'll understand when you go to his Twitter feed how grotesque they are. And I'll show you some commentary. And Florida Representative Rainey finds shameless cheerleading for death gone too far for the American Israeli Public Affairs Committee. Now, I mean, that's really saying something. That the Israeli lobby is saying, hey, listen, you're hurting us in the public eye because there's a lot of negative press now. And I mean, it's just overdue. Even the American press, which is influenced by the Israeli government through its lobby and through congressmen, well over 200 who are on the AIPAC poll. And I'll show you who those people are and put the link in the description for you to see. Even the Israeli press can understand that, hey, negative press isn't good here. There's a lot of criticisms coming from just about every single human rights organization, as well as even the moderate Zionist. After winning Florida's super election in April, Fine claimed that he was AIPAC's fastest ever endorsement. But on Monday, his name was mysteriously missing from AIPAC's database of pro-Israel candidates. Now, just going to show you, this is the AIPAC portal where you can actually send donations to a congressman of your choice. And as you can see, this is in alphabetical order, right? But if we go all the way down, and there's so many of these people who are sellouts, who will accept money as low as $250, but as high as $7,000. Imagine giving this guy, Chris Coons, a Democrat out of Delaware, $7,000 for what? What has he done for the state of Delaware that benefits everybody, or even a majority? I'm just using him as an example. So why are you giving him money? But if you go down to the letter F, right, you'll notice that Fine, there's no Randy Fine. Brad Finstad, Scott Fitzgerald, Michelle Fishbosh, Brian Fitzpatrick, Chuck Fleischman, Flood, Fletcher, Fox, Frankel, Franklin, Fry. He's off the list. It's not clear why Fine's name has been removed from the ranks of lawmakers championing consent for Israel's catastrophic military campaign, which has killed more than 62,000 people in Gaza. However, one possible explanation is that Fine's recent remarks on the widespread famine in Gaza are too grotesque for even the most staunchly pro-Israel. Last week, ABC News reported that 15 people in Gaza had died from starvation within just 24 hours, according to the Gaza Ministry of Health. Fine responded to the report by wishing for more death and then claiming that it was all a hoax anyway. Release the hostages, until then starve away, he wrote on his Twitter profile, right? That same day, Fine was appointed to the House Foreign Affairs Committee. This is the profile of Randy Fine. And this is the text that got him in trouble. Release the hostages, until then starve away. There's all a lie. Anyway, it amazes me that the media continues to regurgitate Muslim terror propaganda, right? He's calling ABC News Muslim terror propaganda. But if you look at the dozens of articles, I'll just pull up one, coverage of Gaza war in the New York Times and other major newspapers heavily favor Israel. Analysis show. And at the New York Times, the Washington Post, Los Angeles Times coverage of Gaza showed a consistent bias against Palestinians. So Randy Fine's a liar. I mean, every single person in Congress is a liar to some level. but he's one of the worst representatives. I have called, and I even done a video explaining how we can get Randy Fine expelled from Congress lawfully. I'm for his expulsion by force, if need be. He's an enemy. He's actually dangerous, very dangerous. If any congressman or lawmakers calling for violence as a means of conversation to a preconceived enemy, and the Palestinians are not enemies to anybody. Randy Fine doesn't give a shit because he hates Muslims. He's racist. This is for my critique of Randy Fine. I think he deserves to be forced out. Forced out. I mean, it's a lot. There's going to be a lot of people pushing him out the door because he's so fat. But there is a law where we can actually expose Randy Fine for harmful content. And I explained in that video. The American Jewish Committee condemned Fine's statement. Quote, the serious humanitarian situation in Gaza must not be taken lightly, especially by those at the highest levels of government, implying that starvation as a legitimate tactic is unacceptable, the American Jewish Committee wrote, end quote. Fine doubled down on Sunday, saying, quote, there's no starvation. Everything about the Palestinians' cause is a lie. Now, if you go to his Twitter feed, right, this guy's nonstop, right? He's against immigration. I have my hard no on any amnesty. Deport them all, going against the Constitution, against the First Amendment. Even if somebody came into this country illegally, they still are afforded protections, certain protections under the Constitution. This is active starvation, not AI, Yemeni genetic disorder next to fat people bullshit Gazans fake timidity. And he's calling people fat. I mean, every insinuation is a declaration of their own sin, right? Israel, do whatever is necessary in and out of Gaza to secure the release of 49 hostages. Anything. Bombs away. Wow. You know, for those who are saying that I'm a Palestinian or a Hamas supporter, you know, that argument doesn't fly because the majority of my contact is against Islamic fundamentalism. But at the same time, I am a critique of any type of fascist extremist ideology, even it's, you know, secular, because I am for hegemony around the world. In order to do that, we need to get rid of all the governments basically in the first world because they are the enemy to humanity. But if not his comments on Gaza, perhaps it is his bloodthirsty statements advocating violence against protesters that lost him AIPAC support. In another post Sunday, Fine revealed that the only thing he really supports, besides food, is murder. Hey, I can't believe I'm saying that. Now, look, I laugh hesitatingly because I'm seeing these people come out more and more comfortable in saying, hey, we need to kill these people. I mean, the Israeli government have people that basically are saying, and this comes from the religious Zionist party, right, that say that we're for the killing of Arabs in order for to support Jewish supremacism. That may not be the Likud party, but that's the party of the Yad Yehud, the religious Zionist party, the Kahanists. He's pushing for a bill that would allow drivers to run over pro-Palestinian protesters, blocking bridges and roads with impunity. Because if we allow for this to transpire, if we allow for the advocation of violence, well, people like Randy Fine are going to up the ante and say, why not we just kill 100 of these people? Why not we just kill 10,000? And the more we allow this behavior to become normalized, we become desensitized. And then soon propaganda will manipulate us into thinking that Randy Fine is right. If you haven't lost your humanity, if you're a nationalist, if you're a socialist, if you're a propagandist, all of this is basically just par for the course. To be clear, the Trump Thump Act will allow you to run over Black Lives Matter, Antifa, illegal immigrants, and I hate Black Lives Matter. I hate Antifa. I don't disassociate them from, like, the Proud Boys, for example. They're all the same. They're victims of manipulation, victims of brainwashing, victims of propaganda. And when all you're basically soaking up as you live in these circles is this way of life, and it's not a way of life at all. AIPAC has not returned to New Republic's request for comment. Just a few months ago, the lobbying group celebrated Randy Fine. Crucially, AIPAC poured more than $126,000 into Fine's campaign, which probably half of that went to fast food. The Fine insisted he didn't need AIPAC's money to be a bigot. And for the haters who said they bought me, I have news for you. They had me for free. I once said that how many Congress people, if you took away AIPAC money, would support Israel? I wonder if we can get a poll for that. But, there you have it, right? So, here you have a dual Israeli U.S. citizen who is now in Congress, who is basically advocating for violence to perpetrate Jewish supremacy by any means necessary, demonizing an entire group of people. But if you did the same for Randy Fine, you did that for Jews, you would be an anti-Semite. But they don't realize the hypocrisy, because to them, there's only one worldview. And that view is people like us, for us, by us, and fuck everybody else. And if we have to use violence, we will. And so my message to you, the American public, is to not become like them. That's the greatest lesson of all. Do not become someone who hates all Jews, because Randy Fine does not represent all Jews. But if you're going to become an anti-Semite to spite Randy Fine, you lost the plot. I'm not saying to forgive Randy Fine. I'm saying we need to hold him accountable for his reprehensible conduct as he represents the common people of Florida. But if the Floridians don't act, who will? Thank you very much for tuning into the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Everybody, take care.